Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing show. You're probably seeing this a little different on the screen tonight. That technical difficulty is still lingering, but we're going to try this new format and see how that works, Mike.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. The only bad thing about it is it cuts out the guest. So, Mike, all I'm going to hear is voice.
I know. Dad won't like that either.
No, but that'll be good. You know, they can hear you, but they won't hear you, you know. So, I mean, they won't be able to see you. And, well, first off, you got to get your mic on. Herschel, has he got a mic on now? Good. They won't have to look at you, but they can hear you talking. So I'm not going to ask you any questions.
Okay. I just sit over here and laugh.
All right, folks. I'm just, you know, I got to get on Mike every now and then because he gives me a hard time.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mike, you're still on.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And we're going to try this new format out and hope it works out. And Mike and I got a little TV sitting here in front of us, and we look the same as we always do, but I know it's playing different on your home set. And I can see it, Herschel. So as you can see, we got our sponsors up there, and that's looking good. And you know, this may be even better, Mike. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about taking a break. We may just have to get us a black curtain and drop it down.
Yeah,
and then get a drink of water and then raise it back up. All right, folks. Anyway, Mike, I hate to tell you, you're going to have to get on the program here, and because I got very little fishing film.
If things work out and the rain hits just right, maybe we might be off Saturday.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know, Mike. I can't count it. I'll tell you what you're going to have to do. You better get the black lights out.
Probably.
Yeah, because they're wanting to burn daylight down there on the job. And,
yeah, that's right.
And so it looks like we're going to start fishing of a night if we get any fishing film.
Yeah, they act like there ain't no tomorrow, and they got to get it all done today.
That's right. All right, folks. Anyway, we got a little bit of fishing film. Rick Whitson and I were down on Watts Bar there last weekend, and man, I tell you, it was tough. But I got some good information to pass along to you fishermen tonight, and you dock owners, and you know where you're waiting on the water to come up to get your boat in the water and all that stuff. So I'll get into that a little bit later. Don't let me forget that, Mike. I got that listed under water levels and egg hatch.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
All right. A hard time figuring that out right now.
Yeah, and so I want to say hello to my dad and Bill and Polly, and run into Cheryl Smith. At Edgemore Outdoors there Tuesday, and it's good to see Cheryl. And I hadn't saw him in a while, and he's been fishing and crappie fishing, and said that's about all he does anymore, and which is a good thing.
Well, we need to get him over here and let him talk about them depth finders a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Mike. I'll need to get in touch with him on that for sure. But anyway, Mike's got some shaky heads here, and I did run into a gentleman, and I apologize for not having his first name, but I knew his dad well from the old Atomic Bass Club, Clarence Galt's son, and we're going to get, he was wanting to talk about jerk baits again, and I brought a few over to, you know, see what we could do with those. So anyway, we got a caller. All right. Sorry about that, Herschel. I must have cut them off. Maybe they'll call back. But anyway, we're going to do a little bit of that tonight, since Mike doesn't have much film to show, and getting a good look at the sponsors. And so that'll hopefully take care of itself. And I don't know, like I said, Mike, we'll have a hard time getting a drink of water. You're going to have to do a lot more talking you've been doing.
Maybe this guy on the phone here, whoever it is, will talk quite a while.
All right. Okay. Hello, caller.
Hey, how you doing? This is the Black Bill Dan.
Hello, Black Bill Dance. Good. Hey, give us a good fishing report.
Hey, I went down by Jackass Creek, and I wore them out, literally.
No kidding.
Yeah, those crappie were biting over there by the docks.
Man, boy, that sounds good. I guess you caught your limit.
Yeah, I caught about my limit. I got 10 keepers.
Oh, man. Have you ate them yet?
That was last Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, well, I could, 5 would be plenty for me,
Yeah. I don't like cleaning them, but I sure like eating them.
Oh, man, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. How you like your shirt?
I love it, man. I tell you what, those people down there, there's more tackles sure take care of me.
They sure do. They take care of everybody, what I've seen, man. They're dandies.
Oh, yeah, there's some good guys down there.
Sure are.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to see the show that they showed my crappie, but, buddy, I'm telling you, I've been flaying them down there at them docks.
Boy.
Down there over by Solway.
Yeah.
The Solway dock down there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been wearing them out.
Are you using minnows?
Yeah, using minnows and jigs.
Okay. How deep?
About 6 to 7 feet.
6 to 7 feet. Okay.
Yeah. That water was low, and they put that water back, and then they was hitting it. They hit as soon as they put that water back. And they're hitting down at Bull Run also.
All right, man. That sounds good.
Yeah, the catfish are really biting down at Bull Run.
Yeah. Okay. You have a lot of fun, even if you don't eat them. They're a lot of fun to catch. Aren't they?
It's fun to catch, I tell you what. There's some big ones down there, too.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. And if you hear from Mike, don't forget to give him my phone number.
All right. I got it wrote down here. I thought he'd called in there the other night, but he didn't. But anyway, I've got to see him, and I'll try to get him this number.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for calling in, buddy. Appreciate
Hey,
you.
remember to yank when they bite.
That's it, man. You got it. Thank you.
All right.
See you, buddy. All right. Okay, Herschel. Let's show that little bit of fishing film, and then we'll discuss that and get on with the program. All right. Folks, Rick Whitson and I are down here, and Rick, the first fish of the day, Rick's got a muskie on a rattle trap here. Small muskie. Oh, man, Rick. Huh. And that son of a gun's got one of them old eels attached to it. Yeah, boy. All right. Yeah.
Well, I ain't sure how
You
to
got
handle
your dang pliers out? Here we go. All right. Hey, pull that old eel off. Watch that thing, Rick. Watch that thing, man. Man, yeah. Dangerous as they can be. Here we go. All right. Yeah, man. Let's see what kind of mess we've got here, folks.
I'm not sure how to hold him.
It's like that right there.
He's slick.
Yeah. He is slick. All right. Then we'll take them pliers and pull that old wheel off. Yeah, it's done off. Watch out. All right. Good job. Now then. Okay. Back off a little bit. Yeah, boy. What about that, Rick?
I wish my...
Yeah. What about that?
It's in there.
It's got your britches. Hold on a second. All right. Now then. Get this back.
Picture of it.
Yeah. All right. Let me get Rick's phone and get a picture of that thing, folks. All right, folks. Rick's got a pretty good fish here on that shaky head, Rick. Attaboy. Yeah, man. That's nice. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right, Rick. All right, folks. Rick's got another one on there. That's a small fish, but that'll do. Attaboy, Rick. Man. righty. Good deal. All right, folks. Rick's got another fish on here. Don't know how big he is.
He acts like he's big. I don't think he is.
Well, he's running up and under the boat on us anyway. Well, oh yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Nice keeper bass right there. Okay. Quick release, Rick. We'll let you count that one. All right, we're back. We're trying to get these shaky heads laid out here and that kind of thing. Right quick, Mike, I'll discuss the film that what little bit of it there was. You know, we've been catching some good fish down there on the rattle trap. And oh, Lord, don't forget that fishing report there from Black Bill Dance and you crappie fishermen and Milton Hill fisherman on what he's doing there to get those crappie. But we'd been catching some good fish on the rattle trap down there at Watts Bar, and man, they just kind of seemed to quit it. We caught some little fish on it down there last weekend, but that was about it. We had probably 3 keepers and a dozen of little old 10, 12 inchers, Mike. And that was about the gist of the trip, and highly disappointed we didn't get a good fish or two. But, you know, they change. Those fish right now are in a changing mode. They can change from, you know, day to day, basically.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the weather changes right now, and the water levels.
That's the biggest thing, that water level running backwards.
Back,
and forwards.
yeah, up and down, and that kind of thing. So anyway, that's about the best that we could do on the fishing trip and on the film there last weekend, and maybe we can do something better here in the next few days. Have some good film for next week. Then there again, Mike, when we get rained out, you know, you can't film in the rain.
Yeah, we got an umbrella.
You got an umbrella?
Yeah.
Well, all right, you hold the umbrella and the camera, and I'll fish. All right, that's a deal now,
You ain't
folks.
taking my pole away from me.
No.
I get a hold of one.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. You can't wind them in and hold the umbrella and the camera too. Yeah.
I done talked to Wesley. I got the lowdown on you.
Yeah. All right. Okay, folks. Let me get into one thing right here. Got a new sponsor coming online, and it's Rocky Top Outdoors up here, right out of Lake City, going towards Caryville there on 116. And their grand opening, that's Andrew Howard, the owner and proprietor of that business, and he's trying to get his sporting goods store up and get it going. They've got a grand opening this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And he's going to have some live music, inflatables for the kids, food and drinks, and cotton candy, and some door prizes to give away. So let's don't forget that. That's Rocky Top Outdoors. Their grand opening this coming Saturday, 9 to 5. Got, you know, like I said, live music, inflatables for the kids, and all that kind of stuff, Mike. And so, you know, stop by up that way and check him out, see what he's got in merchandise in the store, and we're glad to have him as a sponsor of the Let's Go Fishing show. So, you know, that's right there in Anderson County, and been looking, at least I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. So, been needing some more support from Anderson County, so that'll be a great sponsor to have right there, and can't get enough tackles, Mike.
No.
You know, always looking for more. So, you know, appreciate Andrew and getting in touch with us and getting that thing started up, and we'll go with that right there, and I'll mention that again before we close the show. So do want to thank him for that, and try to get up there tomorrow or Saturday myself and check it out and see what he's got, and then hopefully I can make the grand opening there Saturday. Okay, Mike, what do you want to show us about the shaky heads now?
Well, as you was talking about, there's several different versions of the heads and several different size heads. This one here has got the,
Now hold it up where we can get in the camera.
yeah, it's got the screw in deal already made into it.
Mm-hmm.
You screw your worm up on there and then hook it. Or you can drop it to the bottom
Mm-hmm.
and drag it around.
Okay, and those worms do float quite well.
Yeah.
I wished we had. We're looking for the right tank, something that's not too big, not too small, that Mike can demonstrate these baits in, and that we can carry around here and dump the water back out of it.
This one, they've snapped the screw lock on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a barb down here where you could put something else on it if you wanted to go up against the head and let it come out across the
Mm-hmm.
hook. It's basically about the same rig up on it,
Mm-hmm.
where you can drop it down, a little bit different head design, or lay down a lot flatter.
Uh-huh.
Then this one here's a more or less a worm hook with a wobble head on it, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
You just hook it just like you would your regular worm. Thread it up on there just like a regular Texas rig. And you got your head bounce
Mhm.
off the bottom. And sit there and just twitch it around. Got a lot of action to it. And this head here's got the flat head on it. Sets flat down. Every time you set it down, stands straight up. And it's got the spike on it. And you just shove the head of your worm down on there, hook it onto the hook.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably several different versions of it out there besides the ones we're showing. There's a lot of them that's making them. You know, it's just whatever preference you prefer on fishing one.
Right.
Most of the time it's either a light worm like that or even shorter. Some of them just
Mhm.
use a 3-4 inch worm on it.
Yeah.
Finesse fishing like deal.
And also they got some of the 8-inch trick worms.
Mm-hmm.
I think call them super trick worms or
Yeah.
something like that. Magnum trick worm, I believe is what it's called, and by Zoom, and they even work. You know, the whole key to that thing, folks, is if you're fishing that, it's a slow, you know, and that's a good right now this time of year. Yeah, you throw it on a fish's nest, they probably going to pick it up and move it out of the nest if they don't, you know, take it, Mike. So,
That's true.
you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I've caught a few fish on it. I don't fish it a whole lot, but it's right now is a good time to be fishing.
They go to bed and it is.
Yeah. All right, then. Okay. Now, I told Mr. Gall up there that I'd show him. He bought some jerk baits and some lead weights there at Edgemore, and you know, his question to me was, where do you put the weights? Well, I tell you, there's no way to do it. I get one of my wife's plastic Tupperware things out of the kitchen and fill it full of water and go down the basement and drop that bait in there, and I put, because you don't want it to sink like this, and I don't want it to sink like that. I want that thing to be almost level.
Yeah.
I never seen many minnows, Mike, you know.
There's something wrong with them.
Yeah, unless there's something wrong with them. So I try to fix it. If you'll notice on this bait right here, I got a little bit of lead in front of this eye here for the front hook and just a little bit of lead behind it because it wanted to do the dip on me, and I didn't want it that way. I wanted it to you know, a little bit of tilt, make it look as natural as possible, and that kind of thing. And then here's a Smithwick Rogue, and I've got about 4 weights on it. I had to kind of put a lot on it, but anyway, you see where I've got those mounted. They're between the front and the middle hook because I was the same way. I want that thing to kind of look natural. you know, when it's just sitting there and you know, they don't. I've had very few bites, Mike, on one of these things when it's twitching.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
if they're up that shallow, I'm going to be throwing a Rapala or a top water plug. But you know, you're trying to pull a fish up from 6, 8, 10, 15 foot of water. You know, and so it's a slow retrieve and a slow presentation, and you know, once that, because they're coming to see that noise, and you want that thing to be looking about natural. You know how them minnows get in the wintertime, that cold water, they're just very little activity, and so that's kind of the way I want the bait to look. But I hope that kind of helps you. I don't know right now. I probably won't throw the. Well, I will too. This next full moon, yeah, but I'm gonna be fishing for walleye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing. Throw it out there, give it 2 twitches, and count to 7 before you twitch it again. If one don't bite.
Yeah.
You know, but seriously, folks, when you're doing that, even when I'm fishing it in the wintertime for bass, I throw that thing out there and get it started down, wind it 2 or 3 times, and then start twitching it and work it slow. And, you know, I may, for a few minutes, count to 3. Next cast or 2, I'll count to 4 and 5. And seriously, you finally get a pattern. You're either, you know, how long it takes one to come and find it. And so you don't never know. You know, you may have to sit there till you count to 15.
Well,
And
sometimes it may depend on where you want to run. Like at Smith with Rogar, it won't run 2-3 foot deep unless you make it sink
right.
because of the bill on it. Where you get that other one,
the deep diver.
Deep diver,
Yeah.
it's going 6-8 feet. Or jerking around on it.
Right, exactly right. And water clarity has a lot to do with it, and the color too. So, but it's a slow presentation. You got to be patient to fish that jerk bait, especially in the cold weather condition. And you know, a lot of times you throw that thing in there in 2 foot of water, and you won't twitch it but once.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You know, you come up on a rocky point there. It's got 15, 20 foot of water real close by. You throw that thing out there and about once or twice, and it's over.
Yeah, big smallmouth got it and gone.
Big smallmouth's got it and gone. I mean,
Take
he don't.
it away from him.
Yeah, he don't waste any time. So, you know, that's a good bait. I love fishing, sure do. So, I hope that helps you, Mr. Galt, on the putting the weights on the bait. And like I said, you just have to get some water in a tub or a bowl or something, and just experiment with it, you know. And something else on these baits, when you buy one, you take it to the lake, throw it out there, and if it comes back, you know, you fishermen know how these crankbaits a lot of times won't run true. They want to run out up on top or you know, just kind of get sideways and this kind of thing. Well, these things here are the same way. You get one that's out of tune it up so that when you're just winding it in, it wants to stay on track. And then that way I think it helps it when you are twitching it and you know, to get its depth and that kind of thing. So, you know, you may have to tune these up just like you do a crankbait and get them running straight, and then get it weighted right, and you got yourself a good bait. So keep that in mind.
I'm kind of like Dad on them right there. I think my odds is better when I got 9 hooks to throw at him instead of just 1.
Yeah, I think you're right too, Mike. Yeah, I know you was thinking that way. I can tell. Yeah. Okay. Herschel, can you give us something there to get a drink of water with? All right, folks, we're back, and Mike, we're going to talk about this lake level.
Yeah.
I've been talking to some people this week, and I got some good information, and you know, it's always good to learn something new. The water levels right now are still down. I guess everybody knows that pretty much. It's been by the river lately. But about May 1st or 3rd, they think they'll have it. The lake should be full. All right. Now, here's what the question I asked this guy. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, if these bass or crappie go in here and spawn, and in here in say a foot, 2 foot of water, if some of them spawn 4 foot, 5 foot, or 6 foot, and then they lay their eggs and you raise the water up. I said, what happens to them eggs? He said, doesn't affect them. They still hatch. Said the worst thing that could happen is if you have a major drawdown and expose the nest, then the hatch is gone.
Yeah.
So I said, well, that sounds good, because, like I said, foreseeing that the water's going to come up here in a few days, and they keep fluctuating it there within a foot. One, I'll go into work of a morning, and there's water over the bar out there, and then by that afternoon, there's some of it showing. So they're kind of fooling with it, 6 to 8 inches during the day, up and down, and maybe they'll get ready to, they thought, sometime around the 1st of May or to the 3rd or 4th of May, they may have the water up. But then if you all remember, in the past, they've always raised it up high, float the trash off, and then draw it back down a little bit, try to pull all the trash off. So that could happen. But because what got me questioning this guy was about these these fish that's getting close to spawning, and their natural place. Some of them is not in the water right now.
Well, fish ain't gonna know what the dang water level is, but they gonna go shallow to spawn, and you get 3 or 4 inches of rain, and the lake comes up 4 foot above normal pool, and they move in there to spawn, and it's gonna drop down off of them, and that's where they gonna spawn at, back there in that shallow water where all that new grass and all that stuff's at, and under the water. They ain't gonna go out there and try to find a spot that might not get dry. They gonna go back there.
Yeah.
And that shallow, because we seen that down there at Chickamauga last year when we went down there, where they went back in the back of that creek, and they was nests everywhere back there that was out of the water. The lake was like 4 foot above normal pool, and they'd been back in there trying to spawn, and then here they was back out here trying to make new nests again. So,
yeah.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. Well, that's what this guy was telling me. He said that's kind of what happened. So, but and here's another thing to keep in mind: not all of them fish spawn at the same time.
No.
They just doesn't happen. I've seen it in years past. The fish in up the Tennessee River here on Watts Bar would just be eating it up.
Yeah.
And then seen vice versa, the fishing on the lower end and the Piney in that area, they'd be eating it up, and you couldn't get a bite on the other end of the lake. So, a lot of it was due to the fish spawning, and due to the water temperature.
Yeah, that water temperature, especially down that Clinch River.
Yeah.
It may be in the middle of summer. It'll not be in the 70s up there.
Right. Exactly right, Mike. I agree with that 100%. It's a lot of variables there. We've all determined that fishing's never the same year after year.
Oh, no.
I mean, you get a hot spot this year, and next year it's not a hot spot.
Same way with baits. You may find one that's killing them this year, and then
Yeah.
You can fish it for the next 20 years and not catch nothing on it.
That's true. That's exactly right. So fishing does change from year to year, or catching changes from year to year. The fishing stays the same.
Yeah.
Probably except what you're fishing with, but definitely there's some places that you'll catch a bunch of fish this year that won't be there next year. So
You remember Henry Disney, don't you?
Yeah.
He had a notebook that thick telling Dave fished, what he caught him on, all that, when he caught him, all that.
mm-hmm.
He'd go back to there and say, well, I was down here a year ago or 5 years ago, I was catching them on this, but they wouldn't be the same.
Right. Well, I do think it takes it does nothing wrong with having a little bit of reference of what you have done in the past, and when you done it, and weather conditions, and water temperature and water clarity. Is 4 or 5 things there that you might, if you're not keeping your log book up, you might want to think about it, getting started on one, and because it does give you something to reference back to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it may not work just exactly, but it'll give you something to reference back to. I got another announcement to make here. The Medford Volunteer Fire Department Bass Tournament is going to be May the 17th at the Oak Grove Free Launch on North Lake, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Entry fees $50. Lunker fees optional $10. You can pre-register at Rocky Top Outdoors on May the 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. if you want to pre-register. They got first place is $500, and Edgemore Outdoors donated a Quantum bait caster reel. I saw the reel. I was there the day the guy come and picked it up. $250 reel for the biggest fish. So and more prizes. They want to thank Mike Farley for Anderson County Chancellor and the Rocky Top Outdoors, North Crab Boats, Advanced Auto Parts, Parts Lake City, Sportsman's Choice, Ball and Bait and Tackle, and Edgemore Outdoors and Lowell Watts for the all that swims taxidermy. So, okay. So remember that tournament there, folks, and I'll tell you what that's for right quick before I take this call, is to help them build a shed or a garage, Mike, to store their new fire engine in. They're supposed to get one next year, and they got to have they got $10,000 worth of concrete to pour. So, I think I messed them up, Herschel. Okay, there we go. See if we're still there. So anyway, remember that tournament coming up there at North, May the 18th. It's for a good cause, and help those guys at the Medford Volunteer Fire Department get their. Okay. Huh? Okay, it's a red one. Hello, caller.
Hello, Steve. Hello, Mike.
Hey,
how you
Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine, guys.
Good.
That show's been really good up to this point.
Yeah.
No question it'll be good the last half, too.
Well, that's good.
I should have waited, I guess, a little longer. I'm not sure you want to take calls yet or not.
Oh, yeah.
We're ready. Mike's just dying to talk to somebody besides me.
Well, I got into you talking about one of the things I had written down to talk to you about tonight, and you brought it up already, is about the water levels.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, you said you had a source you talked to. I don't know if you talked to TVA or Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Which one was it? Which source?
Well, it was the first one you mentioned, TVA.
TVA.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a little story, okay?
All right.
2 doors away from me several years ago. There was a TVA fisheries biologist living 2 doors away from me.
Right.
And I promise you this, he could not tell me if I held up a largemouth and a crappie. He could not tell me which one was which.
Gee.
Now, I'm telling you the truth. And to make another story just real quick, he decided that he was going to sail to the Bahamas from here in Whites Creek.
Yeah.
He got a mile below Watts Bar down, and his big sailboat went aground.
Hmm.
And his wife threatened to divorce him if he didn't get her back up here to Whites Creek in a hurry. So he turned that boat around after waiting for half a day and came back up here to Whites Creek. So that was his journey to the Bahamas.
Man.
But anyway, I trust what Tennessee Wildlife says. If you talk to Jason or
Right.
I can't think of the guy's name that's always out there, a good fella, I always hear mixed reports on the species of fish, how much sunlight they've got to have, and it's different for each species. And, you know, they can get it really technical, which I don't like to get too technical myself, but
Right.
it's according to the species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's what I've been told by some people that really know.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, this Tennessee TVA guy didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some Tennessee wildlife guys have told me that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Jolly, yeah.
whether that's correct or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to share with you, and I'm glad you brought that up tonight.
Well, I just, from what you mentioned the other day, and I had this guy on the phone and just said, hey, you know, what about the water levels and what's it going to do to the spawn? And I said, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the lake should already be full. And
Right,
and he said, well, you know, that's when he went into this telling me that you know, as long as it doesn't dry land the spawn or the eggs, we're all right.
Yeah. Well, I know if it dry land, you know.
Right.
but
You know, that makes a lot. I mean, anybody can figure that out.
makes all kinds of sense. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. If Jason told me,
Right.
I'd believe that.
Yeah.
If TVA told me, I'm not so sure I would. Now, I'm not trying to knock TVA. You know, I appreciate them
Right.
having their lakes, you know, but I'm not so sure how much
Well.
they're into it like TWRA. You
Yeah. Well,
know
you
what
know.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not so much their job as to be into the fish as much as it is making sure flood control. That's their number
Yeah.
one priority, as it should be.
Yeah.
But it just, you know, where I live here, you walk out on my deck, it's like looking down into an aquarium,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see the fish beds, you know, right now.
Yes, sir.
Fish that's made beds, and you're right, some of them is a foot or two of water.
Mm-hmm.
You bring that up another 5 foot,
Well.
I'm not sure which species are affected, but I can almost say that I think some would be. Now, am I 100% sure? No. Have I heard that before? Yes, I have. But for me to say that I'm 100% sure about that, I can't be. Hey, one other thing, too. I took a 30-horsepower motor off of a pontoon boat and put a 90 on it because it was a 24-foot pontoon boat fully enclosed, and that 30 just wouldn't push it. So I had my student worker to take it up to the sign shop. And the guy said, well, sure, we'll do that. I was going to have new stickers, 7 new stickers put on it. He said, as a matter of fact, he said, I see where you went ahead and painted here. He said, but we do all that here at the sign shop. If you ever need a cowling redone, they'll paint it, make it look brand new, put new stickers on it. And just hats off to the sign shop. And I thought that would be something people would want to know. You know, that's one of your sponsors. And
Yeah, I didn't even know that myself.
yeah, that's good to know. Here
Right.
I've been dealing off and on with
Yeah.
old boats all these years, and come find out, sign shop right there in Harriman's as far as you need to go.
Yeah. All right.
So they're putting new stickers on it and everything that should be ready here. They said that they had to do some political signs, but they'd have it ready here in a few days. So I appreciate the sign shop for doing that.
Well, buddy, that sounds good. they had never indulged me with that information.
Yeah, that's good news to have.
That's
And
good
I'll
news
get
to
this money
have.
back, and it'll look brand new. So when I sell it, it'll sure look sharp and it runs good. So that'll be a good thing. One last thing.
All right.
Hang up. I want you to get yourself a good pair of needle nose. You're absolutely. That's caused me to have a nervous breakdown.
Well, you know, that fish that I like to never got off that bait, I don't know how in the world it bent that hook plumb against itself, and I kept thinking, what's going on here?
Are you talking about on the muskie?
No, on that dang bass that I caught, and then Rick, my buddy there last week on the
That's
friend.
what I say. Last week too. Now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You're going to get one jammed in your hand just any second now.
I know.
Go to X10 or Y12, some of those retired guys,
Yeah.
and get you a good pair of needle nose.
Well, I've got some forceps there in my boat too, in case you need them. You know, to get down in there deep. But yeah, I thought the muskie was. I wasn't worried about the bass, but because I had it up on the front of the boat, you know, that day that Weston and I were there. But that muskie, yeah, I thought Rick was hooked, but I'm glad he wasn't. You know.
Hey, one other thing. I heard Black Bill Lance call in, and I don't have his number. He hadn't called me lately.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay, I need his number because he and I always had a good time talking back and forth to each other.
All right, 221-9313.
See, that's a different number than I used to have.
Okay.
So that's why I couldn't reach him. So he's changing numbers on me. So
All right.
that is 865, right?
Yes.
Okay, buddy. All right, I got that written down now, so I'll be talking to him. He's a good fella.
I believe that.
Hey, guys, you all have a good night, okay? If I do
Okay.
anything for you, just let me know.
Same here, buddy. See you. Be looking at you in a few days. All right. Okay, folks, there you go. Mike, I'm going to follow up with my source of information on this, and Mike's got a good point. You know, the water on the surface, our surface temp shows it being 65 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, when you get down in there 4 or 5 feet, it's not 65 degrees.
No. Some of them fellas go out there swimming, they find out right quick that first foot there's pretty warm, and
Yeah.
on down there it's freezing.
Yeah. So, very good point for when that water does come up. But you know, my source he's pretty knowledgeable, and I'm not saying they know everything. You know, and let me get this call, and then we'll get back to that. Hello, caller.
Yeah, this is the Black Bill Dance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you gave Mike the wrong number.
Oh man, dadgone it. Okay, I hope he's still listening. Give me the right number.
The number is 221-9319.
19. Okay, dadgone it. All right. Sounds like a plan. Listen, I'm gonna give you his number.
All right.
Why I've got you on the line, just hold right still. Let me pull his number up here. And let me see if I got it. I know I've got it. Here we go. 865 388 7141.
7141.
Yeah, see
Got it.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that water level and water temperature makes all the difference in the world, because, like I say, the crappie may spawn at 65. They say smallmouth at 62, largemouth like 72, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, walleye, I think about 62. So you know, they just then when they, according to where they're at, and where they got to migrate up the rivers or whatever to do their spawning. Some of them do that, like the stripe. They go up the creeks and then they come back out of the creeks.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, you know, this guy was also about the water level. Their main concern is Chattanooga, folks.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, it's you know, real critical. They're you know, doesn't take a whole lot to flood down there. So that's their key point, is watching the Chattanooga area as far as flood control. That's their gauge, he said. You know, everything's controlled from down there, and that's where that's the low point, I guess, for all the water here above us, and out in the North Cherokee and what have you. You know, the Powell, the Clinch, and so forth. So, but that's where they gauge at. So, you know, they got to protect that area down there, and that's what their main concern is. So, you know, they don't want to, you know, hurt the fishing. But if it comes to losing a fish hatch to control the floodwaters down there, then that's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that kind of makes sense to me. Hopefully, you know, the fish will come back, but that devastation may not, you know. But anyway, that's hopefully he said, you know, that they kind of shooting for the 1st of May, and maybe into the 5th of May having the water up. So I don't know. We'll see. You know, we may not get a drop of rain between now and then.
That's right, because every year is different. Last year was a wet year. You know, a couple of years ago it was a dry.
Hello, caller.
Yeah, this is TED there. I thought I
Yeah.
was with Uncle Mike, not bobblehead, Mike.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and talk to Mike.
But he was wondering about his decal on his pontoon boat last week,
Yes, sir.
and I talked to TWRA for him there since he can't seem to find their number.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady said that it all depends on who the officer is that stops him, is whether he gets a ticket or not.
Mm-hmm.
So he might, just like I said, be better off dig up one of those coffee cans out of his backyard and get out some of that moldy green dollars of his and pay that $7 up and get a duplicate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he might not, I see what your point is, he might not know that TWA officer very well.
Right. That's the lady said that it all depended on the officer. He may be brand new and trying to make a mark, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
well, that's some good information.
yeah, I'm not sure the brand of coffee cans he uses. He might use the same kind of coffee cans that was on what was it? Jack Nicholson used in Bucket List.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I got you, man. You you're all over it.
Since he upgraded from a 30 to a 90, he can always tell them it blowed it off.
Oh, daggone, got a 30 on there. Heck, he wasn't going nowhere. And, I mean, it'd be good to turn around with. I mean, he might be like that guy with the sailboat.
Yeah, right. All right, boys, let's don't pick on him, man. I mean, you know.
You know why he had to bring that kid in from Italy, don't you?
No, I'm not going to ask that question.
Because he didn't know how to spell Ebola. He'll know what I'm saying.
All right, I hope he's listening.
Yeah, well, you know, nothing else is seeing eye dog is.
Yeah, all right. Hey, man, appreciate you calling in. You got a good fishing tip?
Yeah, the fish are biting. It's just all depending on getting down there to catch them.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I went down Bull Run Creek I went down to Melton Hill
Mm-hmm.
this couple of days this week. I caught a few crappie, but nothing to brag about.
Right.
I mean, they was keepers, but there's more trouble to fillet than anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's that time of the year, and I'm sure they're in there.
Yeah.
You know, you was talking about the water levels. A lot of it depends on all this rain around
Yep.
East Tennessee in the mountains,
Exactly
which
right.
runs off, you know, into the valley.
Yes, sir.
And you know how it is. If it rains up north and runs down, that water's cold,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna shut the fish down
Right.
for 2 or 3 days anyway till it reaches back to its normal temperature. And that's probably the reason TVA keeps fluctuating like they do.
Right.
But anyway, I thought I'd throw all that junk at you there.
Well, bud, you done good. That's some good
You
points.
pat Mr. Bobblehead on the head there once, and I'll let you go.
All right, thanks for calling in, bud. We're going to make some announcements here. All right, folks. Ursula says we got about 8 minutes. Hey, listen, remember, just some reminders here now, folks. We talked about this TWRA request for public input for the 2015 fishing regulations. Remember to do that. If you've got anything that you want to, see changed or ask why it's being done that way and this kind of thing, don't forget that. Jason Langford talked about that a couple of weeks ago. And let's see, where's that website at? Any way you can do that. You get in the fishing guide right here. Gives you all the phone numbers and stuff to send that to. And this was published by the Chattanoogan, and that's their website. It says comments may be submitted by mail to the Fish Comments, TWRA, Fisheries Management Division, P.O. Box 4747, Nashville, Tennessee 37204. And you can go to TWRA comment at tn.gov and do the same thing. So remember that. I wanted to bring that back up. If you've got anything that's going on with that, for sure. And let's see, Mike, I think that was all. No, the fish survey, two more things here. The sports fish survey schedule is going on over at Loudon Teleco right now. Well, as a matter of fact, I guess you've missed today was the last day at Louisville. So, and you can, by next week you'll be able to pull those results up, or should be able to, on that. And on the website there, go to TVA, Lake Management, it's Spring Sport Fishing Survey, and you can get all the results of how they're doing. Now, next week, they're going to be, or the 29th and 30th and May the 1st, they'll be on Douglas. So, if any of you all listening want to go to Douglas and get up with them, man, you better get on the phone and get scheduled in, because they have sometimes they have 4 or 5 people to sign up. Sometimes they have 15 or 20, Mike, to sign up. So you don't know. Tennessee Sportsman Association, remember that organization right there? Good thing, gives us a voice, for sure. See how many. I don't know that we've got. You do the Heartland tournaments. Something I'm going to be involved in, hopefully tomorrow afternoon and Saturday, is this kids fishing rodeo over here at the canal on Loudon Teleco there at the canal. They're going to be. It's put on by the New Providence Baptist Church and the Loudoun County Junior Bass Club. So they got some tents set up. They're erecting those. Talked to the guy this afternoon. They're putting those up right now. They're going to have a big to-do starting at 5:30 over there tomorrow afternoon for the kids. And then Saturday they're going to have the rodeo. So if you want to do something there, that'd be a good place to start right there. Like I said, Friday afternoon or tomorrow afternoon, 5:30 to, I think he said, till 8 or 9 o'clock. They got games and a little bit of everything going on over there for the kids. And so don't forget that right there. That'll be a good thing. Okay, Mike, Catfish Trail. Their next tournament's May the 3rd, Watts Bar Dam, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
What did you say about the big catfish that you had?
Oh, yeah, folks, man, I'm about to forget that. Okay. There was a huge flathead catfish caught this past week on Chickamauga, and it weighed 83 pounds, and the state record's 85 pounds.
Yeah, you're very close.
Yeah, and the picture I saw of that thing was ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head big as a
if its head, if the body on that thing had anything to do with its head, it'd weigh 200 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was just all head, but I guess that's why they call them a flathead. But the guy had it, holding it up, had his picture made with it, weighed 83 pounds, and the state record's 85 for that species. So real close to a state record, and they released it to be caught again.
Caught again, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was a good thing right there. And Mike, you've been looking at all these state records and stuff here while we're talking tonight.
Yeah.
But anyway, catfish guys, yes, sir. 3 minutes. Catfish guys will be at Watts Bar Dam there May the 3rd. Remember that. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Be interested to see. They had the first Tennessee Valley Team Championship qualifying tournament on Loudon on the 19th. 22 pounds won it, and I wrote those names down for the winners, and folks, I'm just ill prepared for tonight's show, honestly. I had 70-some boats, and their next tournament is on Watts Bar on 6/21 at Rockwood. So check that out. Be good to get on that. And then the Tennessee Toad Tournament started this week over here at Loudon Tellico. So you might want to check in on that if you're, like fishing over there or want to participate in those tournaments over there. And then the Volunteer Bass Trail had their tournament on Norris the 19th, and I have not found out what it took to win. But their next tournament's at May the 10th on Chickamauga at Dayton Boat Dock. And that's the Orange and White Division Tournament Trail, Phoenix Boats, Reynolds Racing and Marine. And then the Heartlands, we got bukus of them. Just get on the website and get going. Remember, Andrew Howard and the Rocky Top Outdoors grand opening Saturday, 9 to 5, folks. Right there on 116 going out of Lake City up towards Caryville. I think it's on the right side of the highway, but there ought to be signs and stuff open. Listen, call in and let us know how we do, what you think of the new program. I sure would like to have some information. So God bless you. Hope to see you next week. Mike, get us some fishing film.
Serving Anderson, Roane, and Morgan counties, you're watching the Channel 12 Evening News on BBB Communications Cable Channel 12. And now your Anderson County News.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Channel 12 News. I'm Alyssa Walker. We'll have details from last night's block captains meeting banquet last night in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at your current weather conditions. It's 29 degrees outside, humidity's 49%. This afternoon we saw sunny skies and a high around 37, and tonight we're going to see mostly clear skies with a low around 21 degrees. That's all for our look at your current weather conditions. Here are your headlines. The Oak Ridge Police Department's 4th annual Neighborhood Watch Block Captains Banquet was held last night with over 100 people in attendance at the New Hope Center on Scarborough Road. General Manager for the Y-12 facility, Daryl Cohorse, said that B&W Y-12 was glad they would assist with the use of the New Hope Center, and the importance of the Neighborhood Watch program is worth the time from their staff members.
One of the things we do is we do as a corporate sponsor here in Oak Ridge, we're always looking for ways we can support the community. And this is such a great program. The Neighborhood Watch program is such a wonderful program. It's staffed all by volunteers, and all of them working together for the same thing, and that's to make Oak Ridge a better community and a better place to live. And we wanted, when we first built the New Hope Center, we really wanted a place that we could make as our public interface facility where we could host and do different things with the community, because Y-12 has always been off limits. And so this takes away some of that, allows these people to come on the site, allows the people to see a little bit about the facilities that we have here. And so it's sharing with community.
Deputy Chief for the Oak Ridge Police Department, Alan Masingale, is the director over the program and is encouraged by the results the groups are seeing in their communities.
Program and express to them how valuable they really are to the Oak Ridge Police Department, the city of Oak Ridge as a whole. We really depend on them. They do a great job, and it's all voluntary, and that we just can't tell them how much we appreciate that.
Police Chief David Beams also echoes the remarks as to how successful the Neighborhood Watch program has been.
Significantly from 2006. So what we're doing is working. Obviously, we're always going to have more crime than any of us would like to have, but I can tell you that the last 2 years have been a significant reduction that we've had, and it's tied right into the growth in our Neighborhood Watch. So I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for what you're doing every day for your neighborhood and for the city, and for what you're doing for the police department. Thank you very much.
Vice Mayor Jane Miller was on hand representing the city since the mayor had other obligations. She said she was very proud of the success of the programs.
What's this all about?
That's exactly right. As an elected official, the city of Oak Ridge, we cannot do it all ourselves. City employees, city council members, it takes citizens. We have so many boards and commissions. This is just another step up with citizens really get involved and take back their community. And other than just reporting crime, they actually prevent crime. And we're so proud of them and all they've done, and it just continues to grow. And Officer Shannon Newman and Randy Myers are just doing a super job with this program. And again, it's volunteers like this who help make our city what it is today.
The city's Neighborhood Watch is operated by the police department as a means to educate and assist citizens concerned about criminal and drug activities that may be occurring in their neighborhoods. Citizen volunteers serve as block captains, with each representing an area of the community and providing leadership for the larger Neighborhood Watch groups. Reporter Dudley Evans was at last night's banquet and got to talk to 2 Neighborhood Watch captains about their roles in the success of the program and the support of the Oak Ridge Police Department. Larry Gibson from the Scarborough area and Kevin Rice from the New York Street area tells us more.
It's a slow process, but drugs is pervasive all over Oak Ridge and throughout the nation. But I think over time, by Neighborhood Watch and people that not even associated with Neighborhood Watch is getting involved and speak up, and I think we can make it better in the Oak Ridge and all the communities.
I've got a lot of elderly people on that road, and I've got active about 8 to 10, and then a lot of the elderly people, they do a lot of watching and walking in the neighborhood and reporting anything suspicious. And
what got you interested in, I guess, the Neighborhood Watch?
The crime and the suspicious drug activity that I started noticing in the area, and I just didn't want to live in that kind of environment.
Crime has been reduced in Oak Ridge due to the activities of the Neighborhood Watch program. 12 new Neighborhood Watch groups were formed in 2008, and these citizen leaders have taken ownership and demonstrated pride in their neighborhoods. Currently, there are more than 60 neighborhood watch groups throughout Oak Ridge. The groups meet on a regular basis with each other and the police department to discuss issues and make plans on how to address areas of concern. Meetings also include the sharing of educational materials and the planning of neighborhood cleanups and cookouts. The National Neighborhood Watch program began in the 1970s as a response to property crimes. Sheriff's associations formed the program to involve citizens in an effort to prevent crime rather than just respond to an incident after the fact. For more information, contact Oak Ridge Police Officer Randy Myers at 556-6696 or Amy Fitzgerald, the city's Government and Public Affairs Coordinator, at 425-3554. A loaded assault rifle was found Tuesday afternoon under a shopping cart just outside one of the main entrances to the Walmart Supercenter. The 9mm HK brand semi-automatic rifle had a banana clip full of bullets, but there wasn't a round in the chamber. Deputy Police Chief Alan Masingill said the weapon was noticed shortly after 5 p.m. A young man attempted to retrieve the rifle after its discovery was reported to store personnel. Masingill said store security officers told that man police had been summoned, and he took off running. Masingill also said police confiscated the weapon and are investigating the incident. Residents of Oak Ridge can likely expect to see red light cameras in action sometime in March. The city is about 45 days away from a trial run with 2 speed monitoring cameras and 2 red light intersection monitoring cameras. City Manager James O'Connor said the city is still working out plans, ensuring the city can make the program well coordinated and that a police officer can review each ticket. The emphasis in placing the cameras will be on school zones. The first 2 speed cameras are expected to be deployed on Oak Ridge Turnpike in front of the high school and on Robertsville Road in front of the middle school. The first 2 red light cameras are expected to be deployed at Illinois Avenue and Robertsville Road and at La Follette Drive and Oak Ridge Turnpike. The contract allows for up to 15 cameras. The Anderson County Sheriff's Department is investigating the theft of a 4-wheeler from a home on New River Highway. John Randolph told deputies that he had last seen his blue 2008 Polaris ATV on Monday night when he left it parked under his shed at around 6:30 p.m. without the key in the ignition. Sometime late Monday or early Sunday, someone had come onto his property and stolen the 4-wheeler, valued at about $9,000. The ATV's information has been entered into the NCIC, and an investigation is continuing. Anderson County government leaders have been warned by the Budget Committee, the Budget Director, and the County Mayor to slow down their spending a little bit while the county waits for its tax coffers to fill back up and for the current period of economic uncertainty passes. Department heads have asked to scale back their spending on things like travel and goods and have been told that if it's not a vital necessity, then it can wait. The League of Women Voters of Oak Ridge will hold its first Breakfast with the Legislators event this Monday, January the 26th, from 7:30 until 8:30 a.m. in the social room of the Oak Ridge Civic Center. Legislators representing our area in Nashville will talk about the ongoing legislative session and take questions from the audience. The event is free and open to the public, and a continental breakfast will be served. For more information, you can call 483-8340. That's all for your Anderson County headlines. We'll be back after this break.
There are people with a calling. Most serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Earning money for college. Protecting their community. In the Army National Guard, you can.
Cleanup of environmental hazards at the Department of Energy's Oak Ridge site is an issue that affects us all. DOE is working to address the issue, but it needs citizen input. One way you can help is to take part in the meetings of the Oak Ridge Site-Specific Advisory Board, a volunteer citizens panel. By attending meetings, you can learn about the cleanup program and voice your opinions. Join us in making our area an even better place to live. For more information, call toll-free or visit us online.
By donating blood, you help save lives. For giving blood, you deserve a million thanks. Here are just a few.
Thank you for donating blood. It helped save my life and many others. After a horrible boating accident, blood donors gave me a second chance at life.
By giving blood several times a year,